Greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for July 7th, 2016. We are on week 27, day 3 of the week, Monday being a holiday. As always, please seek financial advice when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market on any given day, always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, big economic session today is price action from ADP employment, jobless claims, Red Star event. We had natty gas and petroleum all in the same day. Crude, big mover today, big mover on the crude. All right, so let's jump right into the stats as we see here on day 3 of the week. Weekly total 11 setups, 373 ticks, most of those being on the NQ with the YM catching up there, but it was only today 2 markets, 5 setups for 114 ticks. The majority of those actually on the YM. Tried to get something going there on the NQ, but failed in the afternoon session. All right, let's jump right into the charts here as price action. There's your market open as a little bit of pre-market, but once market open, it was all to the green side. That's right, trend predictor actually was to the short today, and you got 5 charts in the green. You're not going to go take the short, so you're going to go for the long, and long on a couple of these markets to the upside, as we saw the NQ and the YM for a little bit. Not able to get on the ES, so 2 out of 3 is not bad for a couple of ticks to the upside. Well, that trend predictor short actually ended up playing out to the downside. A little bit of multitasking, can't do all things at once, and missed the entry to the downside. So had a nice entry there at the end of the Eastern Standard lunchtime to the downside, and that's right, rolling to the downside. So there's that first YM setup. Market open, trend prediction is short under the US Open based on the London session. So the optimal entry actually being right here on the sell signal. A little bit of catch up here is all charts trying to get in play, but you got 4 to 5 charts here. Nice setup to the downside, optimal entry here. Tried to grab a piece here all the way down to the fib level and exit, so not too bad. Trend of the session there was on the crude downside today. Maybe not the first entry. Again, crude report EIA out today. There you are, almost 4 to 5 of the charts in the red. Nice move down here as crude just continued in nice controlled selling. Something we did not see on the indices today. A little bit of pullback on the right to the upside at the end of the session on the 3 indices. No real entry, just let that one go as price action with all the charts not in sync and all in the green to the upside. And you know, sometimes you don't have to wait all those charts in the green. There it is. There's the entry on the range charts. You got a buy signal holding above the T350, 2 charts in the green. Nothing else in the green there except, looking at that, price action breaks above the 51.44. This makes a high risk but pretty good probability that trend might continue. Obviously, he's not going to win all the time, but not a bad probability to the upside, but let that one go for this afternoon. All right, there it is, the AD line for today's session. Price action lifts. There it was. That was that green upside. And then price action comes all the way down. Price action all the way down here as we move downside. Trend prediction being short, and AD line followed through, and then that little lift that you just saw there in the end with all in the green. Let's take a look at the 5-minute charts. Again, crude waiting for the EIA report today. Sideways price action, then bang, broke to the outside, looking for a negative 4.4 last time with a little bit of a build, negative 2.2. So price action reacted and came down to almost that S3 level. Rest of the markets, guys, we're just pretty much chiseling out. That's right, as we head into tomorrow for non-farm payroll, so I didn't expect much of a move. A little bit of a sell-off today, not too bad, but we really weren't going to get a runaway here today. Price action down to about the pivot, closing out. We really pretty much closed out not too far away from today's open, so market pretty much in the safety zone of the price action for today. So there was that little lift on all the 3 indices. You can see, and then eventually price action making its way down. YM the best of the trends on the charts today. Did we close out any gaps today? Let's take a look. Gaps, nope. Oh, I apologize. It was the crude. Yeah, actually crude closing out the gap upside 47.93. but didn't hold up here as it managed to just retrace here as we saw on the 5-minute chart. Again, we have open gaps both above and below, so keep those in mind. As any given day, we look for either the open gaps, former VPOCs, represented by the pink line, purple lines here, and as well as the magnet, which is the 600-day VPOC. You can see we pretty much held to the 600-day VPOC, both on the YM, the ES, and meanwhile downside on the NQ, still down there at 42.90. Again, crude coming up, closing out the gap, which there's your 48.30, which was the 600-day VPOC, and reject and back downside. Weak profile here on the volume profile on the crude, actually all around, not much of a tail downside, which means later on some type of repair on that profile. Love the volume profile, guys, every day. It shows how much price was traded at a certain given volume, not time-wise. So nice representation there. All right, let's take a look at the fib levels. How did we do today? YM just almost to the T. That's right, just by a hair, closing out the target low. So very, very close, 1 or 2 ticks shy of the fib target low, but pretty much all across the board. Take a look at those daily Heiken and Ashi bars. Those are indecision, so we didn't go anywhere much either today, upside or downside. Let's jump right into the daily trend as we take a look at the charts here. Price action for today's session, as we saw it to the upside. Let's jump right back. Let's start with the crude, actually. There we go with the crude. Again, nice trending session here downside with all 5 charts in the red now as we show price action. Again, first initial entry. You got price action reaction on the crude report coming out at 11 o'clock, 30 minutes later, but then all 5 charts in the red, 1, 2, and 3 to the downside, whether you re-entered or you just moved your stop to the swing size position. Not a bad move. All right, YM again, as we saw in the chart, very nice trending session on the YM. Again, you had that lift with 5 charts in the green. Trend prediction is short for the day. You missed the first initial entry. You found the sell signal under the U.S. Open based on the London session. Trend prediction short all the way down to the just shy of the fib level. Not bad, not bad. Couple of re-entries. Maybe you stopped out on the break even. Nothing as smooth as we just saw in the crude there. Made for some difficult entries, as you see here, sell signal. But remember the rule, as I always do, I always place the stop at the swing size position. And when you got that stop at the swing size, you're safe. Let price action run. Have one contract come off, move your stop to break even at that point, and you should be safe. Or at least, let's say you got your contract off at 10 ticks, move it to -8 until you get that thing to run, and at least you don't walk out being a loss on the trade. All right, NQ price action again, saw that late day lift there all the way up to almost the London session high there. Picked up around the midnight open, really chiseling out flat in the afternoon session, but again, trying to make that opportunity to the downside like we just saw in the YM. So there's that initial entry upside for a nice move. Took that, chopped around at the tops here. Price action comes down to the U.S. Open. Not all the charts in the red here, but again, several opportunities. 1 here, 2 here. We had a third opportunity to the downside. Missed that entry, unfortunately. Bounced back right up. You find a sell signal here, 5 charts to the red, didn't go anywhere. That would have come out to be a loss at that point. Another entry here, sell signal downside. Tried to run 2 contracts on that, but ended up being flattened out at 0. Starting I was going to get a nice run, but decided to flatten that out. Taps the U.S. Open and shop. So not much PM session action. ES again, same picture, nice move in the early start of the session. No re-entry until maybe just below the U.S. Open. Here was the first best entry on all 4 charts. I actually was here. I apologize, right before the mid-session. Sell signal gets stopped out, and then you had another sell signal down here. I apologize, right there, about 12:30. Again, stop at the swing size. You're okay. You might have bailed, but then you have another re-entry downside. So a lot of staggering. Again, continually making higher lows. Lower highs, and if you can manage it that way, otherwise you were just continuing to look for a re-entry. At some point, you may just given up with the slow action on the chart. So pretty much trend prediction worked out nicely. Didn't go grab any lower levels, but again, once after price action lifted up in the morning session, PM session followed through for the rest of the session till late afternoon. All right, taking a look at the gold. Gold again, price action in reverse. as price action came down there this morning, as price action on the indices was up. Sell signal on all 5 charts in the red. Very nice, very nice. And then price action lifted right here. Nice move to 3 charts in the green, and then 5 charts here at the late end session. And wrapping up here with the 6E. 6E not going very far here. Again, that's your early morning session. Overnight with a couple of nice moves here to the downside with about 4 charts in the red. U.S. session here on the euro here. Price action to the downside. Not much looking at here as very choppy. Sell signal here, but again, the bars weren't in any way smooth and controlled like we saw there on the CL. All right, let's take a look at the daily big pick as we roll into tomorrow. There we go, daily big pick on the crude. We've been talking about the last couple of days. Crude here now in a downwards trend as we hold in between the 50 and the 200. Price action watch. Now we need to look for daily gaps, looking for anything below, as 40.24 is going to be coming up. We look to VPOX as well on the crude, see if anything below holds up. We have open VPOX as well, but as long as the 51.44 is holding to the downside, the first level of resistance will look down here around 42.70. 42.70, but again, looking at the daily gaps, we'll be looking also for 40.24 once we get below that. Take a look at the 3 indices as we roll into tomorrow. Again, non-farm payroll is going to play itself out. We're holding above the key moving averages up here. Average volume across the board a little bit below on the NQ as price action now crossing into an upwards trend on all 3 indices now upside, and pretty much steady. No, not really any major action, no pullback, no upside movement as we head into tomorrow. Let's take a look at the the 6 big market cap leaders. Start with Apple as we do now each day. Taking a look at the bigger picture. Apple today's session lifting up in the green as starting to just break above the daily 50. Again, nice start, nice momentum here. You want to watch the T350 on a 100-tick chart. Watch the 15. You want to get those 2 back upside, even though the 50 is holding above the 144, so starting a nice trend. So now on the intraday, we're getting a nice move. We want to see the 4-hour chart lift to the upside before we make any conclusions that Apple is back in somewhat of an uptrend. Again, both daily and the weekly. Taking a look at Amazon. Amazon, a great winner today. Price action pullback on the Amazon. Amazon very strong out of all 6, holding above the daily 50. Again, we see green all the way across the top. Watching for the resistance here as we see on the last 12 hours of price action, priced right at the 50 EMA, T350. But again, all in the green across the board. Makes for a nice re-entry right here on the Amazon today. So good call if you got in on Amazon long here, as Amazon is holding upside. Taking a look at the Facebook. Facebook again, a nice market cap leader in the green. Watch the daily 200 right here. Again, weekly holding up in the green. We got the 4-hour chart holding. Look for the resistance here at the T350. Good market internal to see where price action is. Intraday, if you're looking for a pullback, you got that yesterday holding upside. Here was the pullback yesterday's price action, then lift today. Price action again on a 15-minute chart is holding up. All right, let's take a look at Google. Google here, price action for the most part has been holding to the downside. Got multi-resistance upside, 5200 here, 5144 on the 4-hour, and then you got the 50 and the 200 upside here on the daily. So again, resistance up here on the daily chart. We just mentioned the 50 and the 200. So for any turnaround in trend, we want to get above that. But again, intraday with a nice pullback. This is today's session on the Goog. Downside price action we can see pulls back and then lifts up. We're seeing the follow through on the T3 moving averages. Want to see both those T3 moving averages back above 50 and 144, but starting a nice trend and change. Again, you got multi-resistance here. So if you're entering on value, that's one thing. The other thing is if you're looking for the momentum train, you got a little bit momentum trend. You need a little bit more confirmation here that this thing's going to hold upside. So not yet there, but at least on an intraday, not a bad move, especially on the 100-tick and the 15-minute charts. Take a look at Netflix. Again, Netflix been struggling down here. 51.44, kind of playing it safe here. hasn't really broken above. You want to get above on the 4-hour chart. But again, we got green across the board on the shorter term, daily and the 4-hour, as we're seeing a pullback here. 100 ticks still downside. So I want to see, even though we're above the 50 EMA and above the T350, I want to see these two lines go green for me. I got it on. I have it on the 15. Here's today's yesterday and today's session. Again, a little bit of a trend change here. We're going to see the T350. So Netflix building up some momentum here, but not yet there. And then wrapping up with Starbucks. Starbucks making a nice move today, as we can see price action now holding up above the 144 on the 4-hour chart. Daily has got some ways to get up here for the next level of resistance up here, 58.58. But again, bigger picture, we're still upside. We're in the gap between the 50 and the 200. But again, nice pullback. Gives you an opportunity to get back in on Starbucks to the long. So probability momentum is picking up. All right, so there's your market cap leaders for today, July 7th, 2016. As we look ahead for tomorrow, it's all about the non-farm payrolls. We got rig count in the afternoon session, following up with consumer credit, but look for that non-farm payrolls to play it out tomorrow. All right, that concludes an insight into today's daily trend. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra: one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter and at Trading Fibs. I always keep I always leave the crystal ball to the experts. I keep my eyes on my charts and in front of me. Always leave my buys at the door when trading. All right, guys. End of the week. It's been a short week. Not as grandiose as some of the others, but playing a little bit more cautious as waiting for the optimal setup. So have yourselves a great Blue Zone day. Good night, and leading in tomorrow, good trading to ya.